Evening, people, and we are back with more Mutant madness. We're looking again at the top delusional takes of weirdo top gooners across the land of X. As usual, we're counting down the top three, and believe me, after yesterday's result, it took me time today to whittle this down to only three. Could have been 10, 30. I even thought about doing a top 10, but here we are without further ado. Straight away in at 3, we have man like EBL. He says, Arteta should persist with Madueke on the right and Saka in the 10. The right-sided triangle has all of the qualities required to destroy teams and win games on their own. For Arsenal, with Timber providing balance within it. Zubi also likes that side, makes it a quartet. End quote. Does he think we're an orchestra? No less. So, yes, destroy teams. That's obviously what's been happening quite regularly with those guys. I mean, Madueke's been destroying teams so much that he scored 2 league goals, one of which was a kind of fluky corner. This guy has nearly 200,000 followers, an account which drops a fine line of magisterial mutant madness on a daily basis. And look at that there. Ex-head of analysis. Ex-head of analysis. What the fuck is this guy analysing? He couldn't analyse a cat. What have you seen that indicates he should start regularly? That this is somehow transformative for the club? That this is somehow the answer we've all been looking for? Because it's been clearly shown so far when we played Madueke that he is irrepressible and that he has all the qualities required to destroy teams. Well, that's almost future tense, he says that, isn't it? Almost future tense, because it hasn't happened yet. As people say, look at these comments. Can you please stop posting? That's kind of good advice. This guy posts stuff like this, he's a multiple a day mutant. And I thought at first this is the kind of account where he did it on purpose to get the views, but I don't think that's the case. I genuinely think he is genuinely massively deluded. On to the next guy. Rory talks bollocks. So this guy, bollocks, his tweet in at number 2, our runner-up for Ex-Mutant of the day, another irrepressible account with multitudes of high-level pieces of insight. Bear in mind this guy has twerked for Arteta before many times, but he's got the only hope he's holding on to here. The tweet reads, Kai Havertz has started 2 Premier League games this season, and we won 4-0 and 3-0 against decent opposition. They were Leeds and Sunderland, by the way. That's the only hope I'm holding on to if he comes back and stays fit. If. This guy's got 72,000 followers. 72,000 followers. And not so long ago, this guy was twerking for Arteta, kissing his ass, as they all do, saying he was the answer. Look how far he's brought us. But now he's saying, look at this. Every year Arteta does things that are just baffling. Well, it's not what you've been saying. You've been up his arse for years. Suddenly they're changing their tune, these people. I wonder why. Certain people have been consistent in their critiques of the Arteta regime, but some people, they just like to lick arse in the hope that they're going to get some kind of viral traction, some kind of personal gain from it. Using our club basically for personal gain, by the way. This supposedly great club that they support, which they don't really treat like a big club. So really, truly, it's quite questionable how much of a true fan they are. Well, when they say to us that we shouldn't be able to celebrate if we win a title because we've been critical, well, this guy shouldn't get to complain. Imagine your biggest hope is Havertz. That's so sad. It's so sad, and that comment is so true. I mean, I really don't know what they're basing this on, these kind of people, because Havertz hasn't really done anything for us other than score a few late goals, but he's not won us cups, he's not won a Champions League for us, he's not stepped up when it's really mattered. In fact, when it really mattered, he missed sitters against Newcastle. So I really, really don't know why he's coming out with this, like Tony says here in the comments, depressing shit. He just needs to come back and let's win it all. No more loss and draws. And yes, everybody's suddenly moved on from Odegaard or Saka in the 10. Havertz now has to come in. I mean, it's just like take one person out, replace with the next. It's just pure delusion of the highest mutant standard. And like I say, this guy has been a big Arteta sexual for a long time. And now, suddenly, he senses that public sway is swaying another way, he suddenly has to sway that way too. He always goes, people like him, commentators like him, they always go where the wind blows. This is the thing. They don't have their own moral compass. They don't have their own intellectual compass. However, Rory Talks Bollocks is not number one today. He is not the worst tweet that we've seen today, despite the fact that he is lauding up Havertz for scoring against Leeds and Sunderland. Here, now.arsenal is today's winner. It's a short tweet, short and sweet, rather like a pretty 20-something Indian girl at your local gym who eats a lot of sugary confectionery. This guy, now.arsenal, whoever the hell he is, his acute delusional disorder takes the form of this comment, and it is the winner with 193,000 views, by the way. He says, Paul Tierney hasn't refereed an Arsenal game for 2 years before today. You can see why. Now, the reason this wins for me is the absolute sheer insanity of watching that performance last night and still blaming the referee. Presumably he's referencing the supposed penalty. He watches that performance, and people like him, the bloody 500,000 people who follow him, they watch us throwing away a 2-goal lead against a team with single-digit points who are already relegated, and they still blame the referees. PGMOL. This account with nearly 500,000 on his Instagram. He's actually making some kind of money from posting this absolute, utter bullshit. And this is what's infested our fan base, and there's no wonder that so many people hate us so much because of our fans. You go anywhere, if you've got any kind of social life, which is unlike most of these people on this app, if you've got any kind of social life, you will go to the gym, you'll go to bars, you have a workplace you go to, you see people out in the street, whatever. You get talking to people out and about, wherever. Any non-Arsenal fan nowadays, even people I've known for years who are fairly kind of chilled, don't mind a bit of banter, etc. Even they, so many people are saying that our fan base is pure delusion and they cannot stand us. This is the new Arsenal. This is what's taken over our Arsenal. And this is why so many people who are like us and think like us and perceive what's happening at the club as the wrong direction, despite the fact that we are second in the league for the last 3 seasons and challenging, which by the way is bare minimum. People tend to forget that. They say, look how far he's brought us. Without him, we wouldn't be where we are. Yeah, we might have had a few titles. We might have had more cups. We might have had a Champions League. We might have had a Europa League at least. Like our not-so-noisy neighbours. It's just scandalous, really. It's scandalous how they've managed to take over and infest, because infest is the right word. This is a mutant infestation of our football club. We used to be a respected fan base. We're not a respected fan base anymore. And it's not people like me's fault who've been going to games since 1993. It's not people like me's fault. It's a new breed of mutant, a highly toxic mutation that's seeped into our once beautiful football club, full of tradition and pride and honour. Now.arsenal, for this tweet, you are the ex-mutant of the day.